Good morning, friends. Uh, Previous class, we have seen this bat. If that is cut across the width such that length is altered, then we call it as bat. Half of the length taken, half bat. Three-fourth of the length is remained and one-fourth is taken, three-quarter bat. And if it is length itself on one side is made 1/4 and 3/4. If it is made here on other side 1 by 2 1 by 2 L, then we call it as beveled bats. Then we call it as beveled bats. Moving to the next portion. Moving to the next portion, closers. So if that is cut like this, if that is cut like this, what is the statement for that? If it is the portion of the brick cut in a such a way that one long face remains uncut, means what? This side length is not at all touched, only this side length is altered. Here you are cutting widthwise, you are cutting the widthwise. Can you able to see? Here length is kept same, only this width portion, no, this dotted line is there, no, that is cut and removed. This portion is removed, only half of the width is remaining there. So this type of cutting of the brick or the stone, we call it as closers. Remember these words are very very important. Bats, closers, coins, queen closer, king closer. So everything is very very important. Okay, so because in all the masonry things, those are only coming there, words coming day to day construction time. These words are generally used. Okay. Closer, here you can see closer is nothing but length is kept same, only width is altered. Will width is altered, so that is called as closers. Okay. In queen closer exactly half width is taken away and only half width of the brick is there, so it is called as queen closer. In king closer, what is there? One side width is cut, another side length is cut, and this portion is removed. This portion is removed. I explain once again. Here in queen closer, width is taken away. How much? Full half of the width is taken away. Queen closer. Okay, exactly cutting a brick lengthwise in two portions. In king closer, this width is there. Okay, this width is there, this is taken away. Similarly, half of the length means this the triangular portion is taken away. This triangle portion is taken away. So these are called as king closer, queen closer. Okay. In this beveled, what is this beveled? Just see this diagram. Here if you cut brick keeping one side width full, another side width half. I hope you are now understanding. By keeping one side width full width, another side width half width, in a such a way you are removing this portion, you are removing this portion. So these are called as beveled closer. It is a special form of king closer. In this, half width is maintained at one end, full width is obtained at other end. That is what just now explained. Okay. So mitred closer is nothing but width itself, one side full width and this side some 1/4 of this length. One full width and 1/4 of this length is cut like this. Is cut like this. These are called as mitred closer. These are called as mitred closer. Okay. So it is a brick whose one end is cut for full width. The angle of cut may be 45 to 60 degree. These are called as mitred. Okay. Now what is this frog? What is this frog? It is the indentation present or depression present on the top of the face of the brick. Face of the brick. So with for what reason? For proper key for the mortar. Means what? What is happening here? There is a brick. On the surface some small depression is made. This acts as key. Key means what? The mortar will come and fill this one also. Mortar will come and fill this one so that it is making a proper joint. So these are called as frogs in the bricks. These are called as frogs in the bricks. Okay. Now perpend, we have already seen this one. Perpend, it is a vertical imaginary line on the face of the wall which lies directly above the vertical joint in the vertical courses. Vertical joint in the vertical courses. So we have already discussed one joint, leave one, another joint, leave one, another joint. So these three joints. The line joining imaginary, that imaginary line joining this alternate vertical joints is called as perpend. Is called as perpend. Okay, already explained, no problem. Sill, sill, lintel, plinth. So plinth already, I think it is the course just coming above the foundation. So this is a foundation part, foundation, above the foundation and just below the superstructure. It's generally called as plinth. Okay, that is what they are mentioned. Plinth is the horizontal course of stone or brick provided at the base of the wall above the ground level. So this is the ground level, above the ground level. Okay, plinth. For sill and lintel, we will see the diagram first. Is that okay now? So if there is any opening, maybe door, maybe window, maybe anything, so bottom portion, bottom, this is called as a sill. On the top of the door, on the top of the window, we are getting what? Lintel. We are getting the lintel. These are also made up of stones, bricks, RCC. Anything is possible. Stones also, bricks also, RCC, steel, wood, timber. Okay, so any material can be used which will act as lintel. Same for sill also, same for sill also, anything is possible. So it's a position in the door and windows. Okay, above the door or window or opening, there is a lintel. Below that one, there is called as a sill. Okay, go back to this text portion. How they have written, we'll see. Okay, how they have written. Okay, now you have seen in the diagram, sill, bottom surface of the door or window. Yes, it is the bottom surface of the door or window opening. Okay, it is a horizontal member of brick or concrete, wood, anything. It is provided for openings. Okay, which supports what? Vertical members, which supports vertical members. Lintel, it is also a horizontal member made up of stone, brick, wood, steel, RCC, anything used to support or superimposed load above the opening. Above the opening. Now come back to this diagram. Sill. This is sill, no? This is a wood framework for door or window. Yes or no? This is framework, no? This line, this thing total. Okay, what is happening? Sill masonry, this sill portion is supporting this vertical member, supporting the vertical members of what? Door frame or window frame. Okay, both way it is possible. Whereas lintel, whereas this lintel portion is supporting the masonry coming on the top. Masonry coming on the top, maybe here wall is there. Okay, if you see your house only, above any door, still some portion of the wall is there. So to support that one and to transport that load to the sides of the doors, to the sides of the windows, we construct lintels. We construct lintel. So what does lintel do? Lintel will transfer the load which is above that one to the side walls, to the side walls of the doors and windows. Is that okay? How does lintel function? How does sill function? Yes, this will support the doors and window frames. Lintel will support the above portion. Okay. Now very important. Now if you see this portion, if you see this is the floor of the house. Yes. This is the outside of the building. Yes. This is the wall coming above the floor. This is horizontal plane. This is vertical plane. At the intersection you generally construct one course. We have seen, no, atmospheric action. To avoid that one, construct the plinth course which is sloping away. You see the previous video. These are called as plinth course. What is the function of the plinth course is separation is made between flooring or foundation and with the vertical. Okay, and with the vertical, and it will shed away the rainwater. It will shed away the rainwater. It will shed away the rainwater. Okay, so that is called as plinth course. What they have written? It is the uppermost layer course of plinth masonry. Okay, uppermost layer of the plinth masonry. Okay, so here plinth masonry is there, last part. Okay, last part. What is this string course? This is not at the bottom. This is just above just on the roof level or near the roof level. It is also one masonry structure. It is also one masonry structure such that rainwater from here it will shed away, so that here window door will not get wet. Window door will not get wet. For architectural purpose, this string course is there. This is throughout the wall, throughout the building, surrounding the building, peripheral building. Okay, like this it is continuously running. So what is this string course? It is the continuous horizontal course of masonry projecting from the face and wall for shedding the rainwater. I hope it is clear now. So rainwater will fall and sheds away. This is plinth course at the ground level. This is generally just below the roof level, just below the roof level. Okay, which is also projecting outside. I hope now it is clear. Ground level, plinth course, roof level or near the roof level. Okay, so it is also projecting outside only. Projecting outside means what? If this is the cross section of the wall, it is not in line, it is somehow it is projecting outside. Okay, like canopy, chajja, everything is there, no? Projecting outside. This is also projecting outside like this, projecting outside. Okay, this is also projecting outside, cross section. Okay, so string course, plinth course. Okay, jams, reveals, we will see for that one in a different diagram. Okay, now for this you can go this diagram. Okay, jams and reveals. This diagram you can see. This is the cross section or plan viewed from the top side, viewed from the top, window frame or door frame. How it is appears when you try to imagine how to this one window or door will appear from the top. You are a civil engineer, no? So you should understand this one. Okay, so this is a pillar or wall, this is also pillar or wall, and in between this will come. What is this? This will come window frame or door frame. This side is exposed face, this side is inner face. Okay, now any doubt? No, nothing. So after fitting this window frame, here you can see, hatched portion, it is frame. This is panel of that one, glass panel, wood panel, these are the panels. Okay, try to imagine the things. Okay, now this exposed portion of the wall outside the frame. I hope now it is clear. I will enlarge this one. I will enlarge. Now you can see wall, inside wall, outside surface, inside surface, outside surface. Okay, now after fitting this window frame, here window frame is there, no? Window frame, after fitting, some portion of the wall is left blank. Here also some portion is left blank. Okay, window frame will not cover full width of this wall. Okay, some portion is only covered. So this left out portion of the wall surface is called as reveal. in exposed portion, in exposed means outside of the door. Inside that space, inside that wall is called as jams. Is called as jams. That's all. Nothing much is there. So outside is called as reveal, outside is called as the reveals, inside is called as jams. The space left out in the wall after fitting the window frame. That's all. Okay. So here what is this? If that wall is not plain, a little bit slope is provided for architectural purpose, then we call it as splayed jam. Then we call it as splayed jam. Is that okay? Okay, splayed jam. So jams and reveals. So that is what they have written. These are the vertical sides of finished opening. Jams are vertical sides of the finished opening for what? Doors and windows. Okay. So reveals are exposed vertical surfaces. Exposed vertical surfaces after fitting the door and window. After fitting the door and window. Okay. Now what is this corbel? I hope you have some houses you have seen. Some portion is projecting inside of the building. This is not outside, it is inside of the building. Support the truss, to support the something is there, no? This is called as corbel. Inside the building, or maybe sometimes outside the building also, if that is made to support something, then it's called as corbel. It is a projecting stone which is usually provided to support truss or weather shed. Okay, like that, something. Cornice is exterior, means what? Outside the wall. For architectural purpose, it is made like this. So from here, wall is there like this. It will go, but here the tops of the wall. So this is made like this, architectural purpose. So projecting ornamental cores near the top of wall, near the top of wall. Okay, at the junction of wall and ceiling. Wall and ceiling means what? It is almost at the slab level. Okay, so this is inside of the building, outside of the building. Here some architectural purpose. Okay, so this is called as a cornice. It's called as cornice. Okay, so corbel will come inside. Okay, like this, to support some sheds, truss. Okay, like that. What is this coping? It is what? It is covering of stone, brick, anything on the exposed wall. So at the topmost wall, that brick is made like this, or masonry is constructed like this. Okay, to prevent the entry of water inside, to prevent the entry of water inside, so it is made to move outside. So this is called as coping. Called as coping. Here also you can see weathering. It is nothing but making provision of slope on upper surface of sills and cornice. Okay, cornice, sills are there, no? There we can see weathering. There we can see weathering. There, if you provide soaps and all, no, those are called as weathering. Okay, what is this throating? See, it is a total is coping, no? Coping. What is happening? I will enlarge this portion. Here you can see what is happening means rainwater will come and will go, and again it may come here, it may come and enter the wall. So to avoid that one, a small groove is made. Can you see? Small groove is made. Can you see? Small groove is made. So what will happen? Rainwater comes here, and here it will start accumulating. Later on it will fall here only. It will not go inside. It will not go inside. So this portion where that cut is made, no, that is called as throat or throating. It's called as throat or throating. I hope it is clear. Okay, a groove is provided underside of the project elements, such as called as sills, cornice opening, to avoid what? Rainwater.